Hello and welcome to a self-empowered YouTube channel and Happy New Year. This pick a card reading is for empaths for the year 2022. This reading can be accessed all year round. I'm going month by month and also providing some tools for empaths to lean into this year as you ride the roller coaster of life. So let's get into it with a 1-minute meditation. And just before we start the meditation, I want to remind everyone to just use these readings as a validation or confirmation, I should say, for your life. As you go through your year, if you're wondering, hey, am I seeing this clearly? Is this really what I'm feeling or what I'm noticing? Is this what's really happening? These readings can be the amplifier to that. They can be saying, yes, it is what you're seeing, and this is what to do about it. So with that, enjoy the meditation, and I will see you on the other side.
Pile 1, Pile 2, Pile 3,
Welcome, Pile 1, to your reading. For this reading, I have month-by-month tarot cards as well as oracle cards for guidance. So we're going to go ahead and start with laying out the year. This is January, February, March, April, May, and we'll do June. I can't see that. Let me just move these here. And then we'll go to the rest of the pile here in just a moment. Now, upon opening the records for pile 1, what I was gathering was this sense of strength, really needing to lean into strength this year, also surrendering. And that surrendering will also be a way of tapping into strength. Sometimes we see surrendering as giving up, but really it's a quiet confidence and strength. It's knowing you're going to be okay. So let's take a look. We have for January 10 of Swords in reverse, endings. So maybe there is something you're giving up this January, something you're going to let go of. That's going to also set the tone for the year. Maybe it's a mindset. It's the way you're thinking about something. For February, we have in reverse the King of Cups, proposals. Maybe there's something you're giving up that's not going to be tolerated anymore. There's endings. There's something you're letting go of. You do not want to tolerate it anymore, is what I'm getting with this Knight of Cups. And I believe that's letting you in March tap into the Page of Cups. Now, imagination is what I'm getting with that, is that there's a lot of energy at the beginning of your year to putting an end to something, to putting an end to maybe a journey that you have been on, whether it be with work or a relationship. You're realizing that one, the mindset isn't working, and two, the emotional side of it is affecting you and it's not working. And it's going to start in March, it's going to provide new beginnings for you. It's going to give you more opportunity to imagine, to create. In April, we've got the Hanged Man in limbo, but in reverse. So for my pile ones, maybe for April, what is going to be happening for you is you're letting go of that limbo state. Maybe it's giving you a chance to look inward. What's still keeping you caught in between? So, in reverse, Two of Swords, crossroads. In May, we are at May here. This internal reflection and being in limbo, in May, we're going to see that there's going to be some internal decisions being made. I'm definitely feeling with my pile ones, it makes sense as upon opening your records that strength and surrendering is really going to need to be part of what you're doing through the year. Surrendering, but really tapping into your strength, because this year is going to provide you with a lot of internal growth and a chance to make some decisions to shift where you're at. This brings us to June in reverse, Ace of Pentacles, prosperity. Maybe there's some decisions that you're going to be making that's going to have to shift where you're at financially. Maybe it's going to provide you with some reflection on how you might want to be manifesting the rest of the year. Okay, so I'm going to bring up the rest of the year here. I'm going to shift these a little higher here. And so we have July, August, September, October, November, December. In July, the High Priestess, which is also this cool little design I have sitting here. I love this card. Intuition in reverse. I'm seeing at the top of the year there's a lot of reverse cards. There's a lot of internal work going on. So this is maybe not all about what's surrounding you in, the external world, but more about the journey that you're personally on. There's this in July, there's going to be maybe a stepping back on leading with your intuition. Maybe there's a chance that you might be going back inward and trying to build the muscles towards understanding your intuition and how it functions in your life. In August, King of Pentacles, trust. So with that, learning to, I see these two cards going from, in July, you're going inward, you're trying to learn how to trust yourself in a way. And then by August, you're you're feeling probably better about your circumstances and able to outwardly start to trust more. And this could be part of the surrendering energy for you for the year. Surrendering and being able to lean in. When you trust yourself, you can trust others. And that's a lot of the work I do in coaching as well, is about building that foundation and working through personal self-trust. And we can personally self-trust ourselves to know ourselves and who we are and what we're about, and we can lean into who we are. Then that's where that confidence and strength comes from. And then that allows us to be able to work on trusting others. So July, August, September, we have here 6 of Cups, reflection. There's still a lot of energy around reflecting, figuring out what you want this year, figuring out what has been holding you back and what needs to be let. Like a lot of this energy is letting go with what's not serving you and leaning more into figuring out what is the right things to better your life, better your happiness, your joy, raise your vibration. And then by October, we see recognition. We see some progress in the journey that you've been on. We have the 3 of Pentacles here. And it looks like financial progress. So maybe something you wanted financially, a job, it could be manifestation of something. Maybe you're a business owner and you're seeing that all this work is finally paying off in whatever means that means to you. That could be reflection. It could be recognition of what you are doing. And it also might be financial recognition. So if we have a lot of business owners here, what I'm seeing is there could be finally some progress towards your business, and maybe you're getting more clients. Maybe there's a reward if you're in the workplace. Maybe there's a reward coming, a promotion towards the end of the year. And then by November, regeneration, world. First. And I'm seeing that as the real benefit, the real growth, the real outcome is coming from within. This whole year, there's so much energy about going within. And that leads us to December, King of Swords, drama. And I see this card, and what's coming through to me is just this, not drama in the sense that you're fighting for yourself now. I think a lot of my pile ones this year is all about, and put these down, this year is all about the self journey, the journey of growing that internal peace so that you have the strength to fight by the end of the year, to fight for what matters to you, because you're doing the work to figure out what you need to let go of, what you need to embrace, what you need to build. You're getting the recognition, you're making progress all along the way, you're reflecting. And by the end of the year, you've got a lot of strength and you are fighting for what matters to you. You're fighting for your ideas, for your thoughts, for your business, for your relationship, whatever it is that has been the source of your reflection through the year. And ultimately, what I see that as is you. Like, you're going to grow and you're going to believe more in yourself. That's going to be the overall theme for the year, is that personal strength and surrendering to yourself. So I have some oracle cards, some tools that we're going to be using for my pile ones to help you through the year, to get you through this year. And as an empath myself, I've always had like a love-hate relationship with being an empath. I feel like it's such a blessing. And I also feel that it can be very heavy and hard to hold sometimes. So that's why I wanted to do this pick a card reading. For my fellow empaths out there, I see you. And, I hope that this year provides you with some more growth and step in the direction that really empowers your life. So let's look first at some more cards. Ascension flames, emerge with light, ignite keys and codes. So stepping into the light, ascending, that's also going to help you along your journey this year. Listening to your heart, awaken psychic abilities, tune into the infinite. So if you all haven't realized, I went with like a very kind of mystical theme here, unicorns and mermaids. But yeah, like stepping into your heart, using your heart center as your guide. Maybe, especially as an empath, maybe you've got some spiritual gifts, and those spiritual gifts might awaken this year as a reflection of a lot of the internal work you're going to be doing. Maybe you're going to be also tapping into some of your abilities, some of your strengths in the spiritual world. Create a vision. Do what makes your heart sing. You are being nudged forward. Okay, no surprise there. No surprise with my pile ones, especially with, ascending, listening to your heart, creating a vision that makes your heart sing. This year, and that being nudged forward, this year, you're being pushed. I actually was doing a reading for myself about a week ago, and the message I was given was, we are turning up the temperature. We are turning up the temperature on something happening in your life in order to push you forward. And that message also was a lot about me finding out from my guides that they wanted me to fail often and a lot. And that is a hard truth to hear. Failure is uncomfortable. People find the word failure as a negative, but what it really means is you're figuring out more of what you are supposed to be doing. You're figuring out more of how do you develop your strength and build the muscles. Failure needs to be embraced as really as growth and strength, because once you realize something that isn't working, you're able to find something that is working. What I feel like, and the reason why I'm sharing this, is I feel with my pile ones, you have a lot of, this might be a tougher year, but also a really beautiful year. If you lean in, you're going to be creating a lot more for your life. And you have to do the work in order to get to that place. And it's not going to be without some fun things as well. Like, this isn't a year of doom in any way at all. It's a year of looking inward and growing, listening to your heart, and really raising your vibration, ascending to something more. And with that, we've got love, the universe, and higher perspective. Oh my goodness. Okay, are you seeing it, pile one? This is your keys. This is your keys. My pile ones are actually meant for something bigger. You're meant for something bigger. You need to tap into your higher perspective. That's all about the raising the vibration. You need to be accessing love. That's all about the heart space. It's all about tuning into your heart, and the universe, getting in touch with the universe, whatever way that you do that, whatever way feels right to you. This is what it is about for pile one. Okay. You are rising above, and you're the beginning of the year is all about letting go, cutting out things that are not serving you. The reason why is because you are ascending. You have a bigger path ahead of you. And it's important for you to do those things and do that internal work so that you can step into that light, so that you can step into your higher purpose. With that, we have some empowerment cards for empaths that we're going to look for guidance as well. Ask a dream for guidance. Oh, perfect. So dreams offer wisdom beyond logic. Tonight, ask a question before bed. In the morning, write down a dream and look for the answer. So your dreams are going to be a really powerful way for you to go inward and get the guidance that you're looking for. My pile ones might be really already strongly attuned to realizing that they have very vivid dreams or very powerful dreams. And this is going to be your tool. It's going to be a tool for you to stay in touch with what your guides might be helping, like messages they might be giving you to be like help you through the year and raise that vibration and do that internal work. Opinions are the lowest form of knowledge. Very interesting. So once again, letting go of what does not serve you. If people are throwing their opinions, maybe even at the end of the year when you're rising above and you're fighting, you know that opinions are not facts. They are just someone else's version of what's going on in their own interpretation based on their life experiences, their perspective. It's filtering through their emotions. So hold a boundary around opinions. Do not be thrown off by others' opinions. Simply say, I appreciate your input, and do what intuitively feels right. So going back to the intuitive work and the inward reflection work and building trust within yourself and then therefore outwardly, you are just going to say, noted. When someone gives you an opinion, all right, that is your opinion. And hold a boundary strong on that, because that will lower your vibration. The reason why I'm doing this reading for empaths as well is that we have a tendency to feel other people's feelings, and it's hard to know what is ours and what is someone else's. So holding a boundary around people's opinions will really make an impact. It's really going to allow you to hear yourself and keep your vibration high. Retreat to the natural world. Go where you feel most alive. A peaceful forest, mountains, a local park, let the ocean roar through you. Be revived by nature's wonder. And that is like creating the sanctuary for yourself, creating the sanctuary that will empower you, that you can let go of the world and really find that internal joy, that internal space, that way to process, that way to hold boundaries from everything and just sink into what you feel and how you are and whatever is coming up for you. So with that, I just want to thank my pile ones. I wish you a fulfilling year. I wish you lots of self-growth and remembering to come back to this reading if you're having, maybe you've checked this reading out at one point, maybe come back later and see what tools you can tap into. I mean, it's very easy I look back at 2021 and say, what was I thinking in January of 2021? Sometimes it's good to come back and say, oh, right, I knew this was going to be happening. I knew that this was part of my work. So what tools do I want to lean into? Okay, so with that, have a great year. I will be thinking of you, and I will see you soon. Take care. Welcome, Pile 2, to your reading. So we will go month by month for Pile 2, starting first with our tarot cards, and then we'll get to the oracle cards for some guidance and tools we could be using for this coming year. So we'll start with January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. All right, so I will start with going through the tarot cards. And so for January, we have the Knight of Pentacles, loyalty. Upon opening the records for my pile twos, I noticed that there was a lot of energy of not wanting to be seen, putting others before yourself. That was a strong feeling. I also noticed pain. I also noticed pain down my kind of like coming from the left side of my face to the right side of my face. So maybe you might be experiencing some physical headaches, throbbing, any kind of physical pain. And there is definitely a notice of not wanting to be seen, not wanting, like, as I was opening the records, the pile twos were like trying to distract. I noticed the energy of trying to distract me into thinking of other piles. And I was like, no. What are we doing here? Like, it's a pile two. This is all for you. So if you're somebody that might feel that energy of putting a lot of other people first and just saying, don't worry about me, I'm fine, just worry about this thing or worry about this person. I'm seeing you, I'm holding space for you, and I'm saying, pile two, this is for you. So please be present here and serve yourself in this moment. So January, there is going to be some good energy around loyalty. So really might put in some routines for your year. You might be starting your year off with trying to figure out a system or a way of being that is going to be very practical and is going to set you off for a good start to the year. And then in February, we have the Two of Cups partnership. What a great time to get this card. The month of love. So maybe in February, there will be some opportunity to connect, whether romantically or in a partnership, a collaboration. There is going to be some energy around coming together with another person. And so with that, on March, we see the Four of Wands, reward. So there's, hey, your start to the year is great. There's a sense of putting some processes in place. There's some good energy around joining with others, and there's reward coming for that. There is going to be a benefit for the work that you've been doing. It might even be work that you started in 2021, like towards the end of 2021. But you're going to see a lot in the first quarter of the year. You're going to be seeing a lot of good energy and a lot of consistency, as well as a payoff. And then that brings us to April, Five of Wands, and some sadness. So life is always a roller coaster, right? It goes up and down. Five of Cups is really letting us know that you are noticing some down energy, some lower energy, lower vibrations happening in April. And great news, I'm going to skip right to May. The end of the drama is coming. So whatever might have been rising emotionally up for you in April, there is still going to be an end to it with the Knight of Swords and the drama that you're facing. So maybe you're going to go inwardly. You're going to allow yourself to put an end to your thoughts. So even if it's not something that's happening externally, there might be a period towards the spring where you're needing to kind of let the emotions come up and then also just allow yourself to process through it. So I see April and May as a way of letting some emotions come out and a way to kind of process through and just figure out like what's happening, what mindset might need to shift. And I'm seeing that mindset shifting in May. So that brings us to June. High Priest. We had in pile one had High Priestess in reverse. So wisdom. So yeah, let's take a look. Mm-hmm. I think all of this is gonna, I think the work that's happening towards the end of the end of the first part of the year is going to be a lot about kind of a reset for possibly the rest of the year. We'll see in a second. But really getting a reset on the wisdom and the things that you've been thinking and maybe shifting some of that way of being. My curiosity goes to maybe in April, something that, the flow of the first part of the year is going well. And then maybe there is something that is unexpectedly happening in April that's going to make you feel some emotions, that's going to set you into the space of wanting to go back inward and reflect, figuring out what is the thing that needs to shift. Especially as an empath, there are going to be times in your life where you just need to, you might be going along your way and things are fine. I mean, this is true for most people, but you can hold things for others that you're not aware of as an empath. So there might be some stuff that needs to be processed through internally to realize that this is not what you need to be holding and you're holding it for someone else. So that brings us to July, the full in reverse. So once again, that actually fell perfectly. I couldn't have planned it. Way I'm seeing that, how that affects the year, is that you're realizing here that something is not serving you. You need to process it. Maybe it's be something you own. You need to start shifting your energy, and you are internally starting anew by the summer. So by July, you're saying, okay, I need to reset. I've got 6 more months in the year. Where do I want to go? I will say I'm feeling a lot of energy and emotion with my pile twos. My pile twos are very, maybe more quiet and strength. A lot of quiet strength is what comes through. Very much my pile twos are they can have a lot of doing energy without asking for people to see them. So they could be the doers that don't want to be seen or don't need to be recognized. Yet they are, I would say pile twos, I sense that have already been on their self journey for a long time and probably have a lot of self-awareness about things that aren't working for them and what needs to shift. I get a sense that there's like a pragmatic side to my pile twos. And yet in touch with emotion, but also is very pragmatic about how they go about their life. So reset in the beginning of summer, and that provides for August, the 7 of Wands, endurance. So that reset is helping you have more energy for the rest of the year. In August, you're going to see that come out, that new internal work start to play out. So by September, we're seeing 3 of Wands, motivation shifting. So maybe there's still, I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like in August, if you're having a lot of endurance, it's possible that you might be burning out a little bit and need to start to shift your energy and recharge. Your motivation might be lacking and might have used up too much in August, and it might be shifting a little bit in September. And that brings me to a little disclaimer, which is this is your year. But as you shift and change, especially with having some knowledge of your year, as you adjust through the year and you have free will, your free will shifts and changes the course of your path. You know, some of this could shift around. Some of that energy could shift. You could remember this reading, or you could come back to this reading every month and be like, oh, right. I had a lot of endurance in August, but I burnt myself out and lost my motivation internally in September. Maybe what I want to do is not go too hard in August. Maybe I want to shift and spread that energy out a little bit longer through the year. Keep that in mind. But that's why these readings are great to use as confirmation and just kind of guidance and awareness towards your year. You still have free will to shift anything that's on the plate here, which is really a table, but you know what I mean? So that brings us to where are we? October. In reverse, we have Queen of Pentacles, kindness. It makes perfect sense. Like, again, as this reading's going, I am feeling my pile twos are very practical. They're saying, of course, with given the last few months what's happened, maybe my energy shifting a little bit. I'm not feeling like I have as much to give by October. But what it's going to do is it's going to shift and ask you to go more to a grounded place. It's a way to recharge still for the rest of the year. You still have, 2 to 3 more months. So what you want to do is to just ground in, really reflect on what lifts you back up and re-energizes you. And, maybe that's kindness. Maybe that is doing something for others. But keep in mind, you need to do for yourself. This Queen of Pentacles in reverse also means going back inward, serving yourself as well as a way to rejuvenate yourself. So with that, we get to November and we have the 7 of Pentacles potential. So you're refilling your tank. You're still refilling your tank. There was a lot of energy at the beginning of the year and even through the summer, and you're going inward, you're refilling your tank. Maybe especially, we're talking about November. That's the start of a lot of holiday season. So if you are someone that really serves others and enjoys serving, putting other people first, I would say that you are needing to recharge a little bit in order to provide yourself with some endurance for the holiday season. And you will end your year, December 2022, 10 of Wands, with responsibility. So recognizing what is the new responsibility, what is the outcome of your year. I see this as my pile twos are already really responsible people. So maybe it's just tapping into what you know and what is kind of expected of your responsibilities, what is expected of you. But it's also with a joy, and it might even be some of this work you do internally and already have been on a journey, I would say, for a while now. Maybe it's a different type of responsibility. Maybe you're finally taking the work that you've done inwardly and putting it out into the world as well. So let's go ahead and start to explore the tools that pile 2 could be using this year to help support them through the year. So I'm just going to shift these cards around a little bit. My pile 2s, I'm just so curious to hear how you all are, if any of this is resonating for you. I feel a lot of, every pile, every time I open the records, it's different. Often I see images and hear words or have a knowing, but with my pile 2s, it was really strong emotional feelings and pain. And I'm thinking that they hold a lot, especially as an empath, you're holding a lot for people and needing to really give yourself the space to take care of yourself and to be seen. So let's look at your oracle cards. Okay, I am presence. I am that I am. Expand your stellar gateway. So really recognizing and seeing yourself. I am that I am. I am presence. The power that pile 2 has. We see you and we want to see you. And I say we, I mean the universe, the world, all people. We want to see you. Let yourself be seen. Pool of Christ's light, open your heart. Spread unconditional love. Yes, love is the source that fills us back up. When I see pool of Christ's light, I see that as the divine or universe or guides, all this higher perspective, really bathing in that lightness and bathing in being seen and being I was trying to open your records and you didn't want to be seen. And I'm like, this is where it starts. We start by being seen with our masters, teachers, and loved ones, being seen by our spirit guides, being seen by, all that is out there. And we start there. And maybe we're not ready to be seen by earthly people, but we can be seen by others and, other beings, and letting them see us is a way to tap into our power. And mind you, this is all ways that is also going to help you through the year. So remembering to let yourself be seen by the universe as well. Cocoon of white light, rest in perfect love, understand oneness. Okay, it's very similar to that card there, Pool of Christ Light. You are needing to kind of recharge this year in the lightness, in in knowing that you are loved, that you are seen and loved for who you are, perfect, imperfect, whatever that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter on a universal higher perspective level. Love is love, and love is given to us. We don't have to earn it. And if there's a lot of feelings of, especially with pile 2, that doing for others and maybe to receive love, but please know that you are allowed to be loved without doing anything. That is what we are given. That is our right to have. Shared wisdom, the sage, and compassion. I feel this compassion card right away is self-compassion. So having self-compassion first for yourself, and knowing that you are perfect how you are. Same with the sage and shared wisdom. Really, this is about tapping into the universal wisdom, connecting more to my point on the Akashic Records. Maybe you should book a reading with me, because this is about sharing the knowledge of the universe, and not just knowing it for yourself, but also even maybe an invitation to share it with others. So maybe there's a space where you can create more ways in which you are sharing yourself and sharing what you know with the world. And so I also have some self-empowerment cards that will be tools you can use to recharge yourself this year as you go. So observe, don't absorb. That's a big one for empaths. Having that boundary of not absorbing other people's feelings, other people's emotions. Like I said, when I opened pile 2, I felt like pain in my head. And when I opened the records for pile 2, I noticed pain in my head. And I feel like with that, I noticed that maybe my pile 2s are holding a lot in emotionally, and it's manifesting in pain. So observe, don't absorb. If you are taking on the stress of others, try observing the situation from a distance. This will increase your energy. So, and remember, there is some burnout towards the September month. So keep in mind that maybe around then, to especially remind yourself to just notice what is happening and do not take it on. And that's by allowing yourself to stay in the light, to have compassion, to really create your sanctuary. And the sage is really just about tapping into, I want to say, your higher self, more than I want to say your best self. Your higher self is that, doesn't, I guess a good way to describe the higher self is that one that is not allowing things to get to them, that can see that higher perspective, in that higher ability to know what serves them and what doesn't serve them, what takes away from their energy. So tapping into that sage response, knowing that you don't need to stoop to someone's level, that you can really lean into that higher self that wants the best possible life for you. And practicing self-soothing. You have the power to comfort yourself when you are upset. Place your hand gently over your heart. Send yourself unconditional love to ease tension and frustration. I totally see this with my pile twos. My pile twos, like I said, are very independent, and maybe already aware about, like, I saw that in the cards as well, what you need to do to help yourself, what you need to do to really kind of recharge. And I think that comes from that practical side in my pile twos. And the self-work that they've already done. So just a reminder here that you can self-soothe and you can connect and hold space for yourself as much as you hold space for others. See your emotions as teachers. Emotions can be the vehicles for transformation, whether joyous or challenging. They can teach you how to overcome fear and cultivate compassion. So that's the second time we've seen compassion here. Just a reminder that once again, your emotions are just your tools. And I felt pile 2 very emotional. So knowing that the emotions are part of the process in the year, just keep that in mind. Keep it as like, okay, I'm feeling this way. I want to hold compassion for myself. So by trying to hold compassion for myself, the best thing I can do about the way I'm feeling is to check in. Why am I feeling this way? What do I need to give myself in order to better serve myself and reserve my life and the life that I'm having this very year? So with that, I hope this reading can be used as a tool to keep coming back to through the year, checking in, seeing how things have shifted, seeing what tools you can tap into if you've forgotten, because I know that I don't remember January 2021. So just a reminder that you can totally watch this video later in the year and see if there's anything that is a refresher for you to remind yourself of what tools you can use through your year. So pile 2, sending you so much love. We see you, and that's our master teachers and loved ones. See you, I see you, and I hope this year is a year that provides you with lots of self-compassion and growth and some prosperity as well. Take care. Welcome, Pile 3, to your pick a card reading for Empaths for the year 2022. We're going to start with a month by month with your tarot cards, and then we'll get to the oracle cards for tools you can use throughout the year. With that, let's go ahead and begin. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, so, and I will say when I opened the records for pile 3, I noticed my pile 3s are high energy to the point where I had to start this recording a couple times just because I was feeling the energy of being kind of easily distracted and being thrown off course. So for my pile 3s, that's just a little bit of the energy I'm tapping into. January starts off with the Knight of Swords, and drama is the key word here. So with the Knight of Swords, definitely lots of energy going into the new year. A lot of ambition you might be sensing for your start to 2022. A lot of things that you want to kind of go after, and it might even be stirring up some drama in your life. It might be creating a little more work and a little more maybe you're butting heads with someone. You're just having a lot of energy towards the start of your new year. In February, the energy shifts a little bit to the 8 of Pentacles achievements. So maybe you're noticing some internal achievement going on. Maybe you're noticing a little bit maybe of a setback from where you thought you'd be as you move through the year because of the high energy in January. Maybe you'll be noticing that it's kind of taken a toll on the financial or the desires that you are working towards in your manifestation. You might notice a little bit of a setback there, but then we go into a transformation period in March. So we see the Death card straight up and noting a transformation. So with the transformation, there is, and it doesn't surprise me, because with the energy of pile 3, you move really fast. So even though you had a lot of energy and there was a setback, you're still ready to completely transform by March, letting go already of what isn't working and trying to rebirth something from this point, letting it go. It's not working. Cut that. I see my pile 3s of like, okay, let's pivot fast into something new. By April, you're going through Ace of Pentacles, prosperity. So that worked out more in an internal way for you. As you're transforming, you're noticing the prosperity is more internal than external. So you may not be seeing the outcome that you wanted as you pivoted, but you're noticing some shifts or some prosperity that might be coming from an inward place versus an outward place. There's still a lot of beginning energy for March and April. And then by the 10th, we have April, May, we have completion. So your May energy is about kind of letting go. So recognizing what you have and then also letting go of what is not serving you anymore. Really putting an end. I think my energy of pile 3s is just like, even as I'm trying to do this reading, I'm noticing like when it goes so fast. And just feeling the sense of like slowing down might be key here, but let's keep with the cards. We'll see what the oracle cards say. But it's okay. It's part of your process. You go through, and if something's not serving you, it's time to cut it. It's time to go inward and say, okay, I'm done with that way of being. It's not working anymore. And I'm seeing that a lot of when you see the cards in reverse here, it also indicates a lot of that work is coming from the inside. Same with June. We are going star hope. It's the hope that's still burning from within you. The energy that you had for January to go at it, to just hit the ground running. It's almost like you flip and realize that there's still a lot of more internal work that you're going to need to do before you put it all out into the world. And we're seeing that star reverse in hope is more about, okay, what do I need to do? What am I letting go of in the late spring? And what do I need to do by the early summer, late spring to kind of shift and regain some energy? Once again, in July, we're seeing endings. 10 of Swords. Okay, lots of energy is going like, this isn't working, stop that. This isn't working, stop that. There's a lot of movement in my pile 3s to keep reevaluating through the year what is working, what is not working, and how to pivot fast and quickly. My pile 3s might also be entrepreneurs, so they might be needing to have the energy to, I'm sorry, I'm just getting something. Okay, a little bit of what I'm hearing right now, and I didn't do this with the other piles, but it was coming through pretty strongly, is just that there is an energy with pile 3 to, if they don't see the progress that they expect to see, then they go back to themselves and say, okay, what needs to go? What needs to change? What needs to shift? And then by August, we see the 2 of Cups, partnership. So with that partnership, maybe what you're feeling by the late summer, or I should say summer, is that there's a need to go in and work on something with someone. So you're really feeling like maybe doing it the way I've been doing it isn't working. And maybe I'm now, or you're cutting out what isn't working internally, and you're going to say, okay, now I'm ready to do this with someone. Now I'm ready to partner up with somebody. It might even mean simply that there's also a possibility for a collaboration or a love. Love could be coming into your life around this time. There is something that is happening. I'm getting a lot of energy around business. But I also am there's like this moment where I just felt like there's another story happening here. For some people watching this video, this is also a journey around a relationship and love. It might be a journey around, you might have started the year with a lot of more energy towards a relationship, but it's really getting escalated, and it's getting to the point where it's becoming a little just too much. And there might have been a breakup. There might have been a need to go back inward and let it be. Like maybe what I'm seeing also, so there's two paths here, or maybe many paths here. There are going to be a strong sense that some of this reading is going to be great for people who are entrepreneurs, or people who are in business, or trying to create something. I shouldn't say just a business. Maybe you're just a creator. But some of this is going to be a relationship for people watching this reading. Some of this is going to be about something just being too much and it not working, and it's not having the outcome that you've desired, and you're not feeling it. You decide to break up. Decide to end that, and you're realizing that there is some emotional stuff that lingers here that you need to go inward and let go of. And a lot of this is like, okay, the relationship isn't working. I'm losing hope in other relationships happening. And also knowing that that is a mindset that needs to shift in order to invite love in order to invite a new partnership in. So then we get to September. In reverse, we see the Chariot movement. So once again, the emotional energy is rising up in September. The feeling of needing to, maybe you're not moving as fast as you physically want, but you're internally moving. The energy starting to increase. And then by October, we see practicality, King of Wands. I see my pile threes of having practicality, but also dreamers. I see pile threes as big dreamers and needing to go inward to find a practicality, because it's not necessarily something that they always remember to tap into, is what way I will put it. So really having that King of Wands energy, going in and figuring out what you could be driving forward with, what needs to happen in a more practical way. This could be about relationships. It also, once again, could be about if you're having a business or you're a creator of some sort, knowing a way to harness your energy towards putting something out into the world. So with that, November, we see 9 of Swords, and we see anxiety. So maybe that is not a comfort zone. What we're seeing in October is not something that is very comfortable. It's maybe leaving you in November with some anxiousness. Maybe you're feeling some pressure, anxiousness, even from the outside world, and it's affecting you. And then with that, we see December, Ace of Wands, love. So we're seeing love again. This could even mean there's just some questioning in these months based on this partnership. And then maybe by December, you're noticing that it's blossoming into new love. It could be actual love. You might have met the person at this point in August, and then realized by December that you're in love. So I am wishing you all lots of love, whether personally or externally. You're tapping in by the end of the year to something that feels really good, a great way to end the year of 2022. I can't believe I'm talking about ending the year of 2022 as we just ended year 2021. But that card is all about there's a journey, there's a story here in your year. Even if you're seeing a card that indicates love, it's also indicating the new beginnings of an emotion. That could be success for people. If you're, like I said, if you're in a job, or you're a creator, or you're an entrepreneur, like you might be falling in love with your business. You might be finding success in your business, or joy, or something that brings a lot of gratification. And I know that the first half of the year is a little bit more of the work side. It's a little bit more of high energy, but a lot of being brought back down to reality and needing to go inward to kind of sort through what needs to go so that you can really tap into finding love and finding success with the things in your life that are coming into your life in the second half of the year. So with that, let's go ahead and see the tools that my empaths for pile 3 could use in the year 2022. And I have to apologize. I can't really see my camera, so I don't know if my cards have all been showing up perfectly on this. Once again, people are not perfect, so bear with me. Okay, so with that, we will start. Okay, so law of grace. Be your divine essence. Dissolve all in grace. Yeah, so I definitely see with my pile 3s that high energy can come off more forceful to some. So understanding that your power, my pile 3s probably have a lot of power within them, and there is a way to be that is going to like this way of being with being your divine essence, dissolving all in grace, really leaning into grace through your year might work to help facilitate the transition for the second part of the year. Also, going with the flow. There is a lot of the going with the flow in your year. Absolutely. Relax and trust. Accept what is happening. So yeah, so really just, and I see that already in the cards, in the way they laid, leaning into accepting things for the way they are, and rolling with it, not being too hard on yourself, and I kind of already feel that the pile 3s have that energy. They do kind of flow with it, but I feel like there's a need to stay consistent and not let go completely, but really just kind of rolling with the year. All right, divine potential. Fulfill your destiny. Be all you can be. Totally. And I think with grace and going with the flow, that also means you are tapping into the divine potential. You really can tap into the divine potential with leaning into those tools, having grace. Hey, someone made you mad. Lean into grace. Go with the flow of the year. There's a lot of endings and new beginnings and new energy in your year. So rolling with the way that's going to feel, and knowing that it is always kind of filtering you back or enabling you to get back to your divine potential. Patience, fate, and death. So once again, lots of endings, and also ending things on your own terms, knowing that something doesn't serve you and it isn't working. When something isn't working, you just lean into knowing that it's okay. It's part of the process. It's part of the year. It's fate, and have the patience also to recognize that more is coming and that this is not the be all end all. It's also that there is things fated and there are ways to open yourself up to seeing what that is. What is the thing ending? What is the fate in that? And just having the patience, the tools of patience. Next, we're going to go to self-empowerment cards for empaths. Tools you can use as an empath specifically, and setting limits with draining people. When people are depleting you, kindly set a limit, such as, I only have 10 minutes to listen now. Such self-care is respectful and empowering. So, with my pile 3s and the kind of energy that I sense from them, this is going to be an amazing tool to, you might enjoy being around people that are so high energy, but also noticing that like they might be draining what you have and you'll need that energy for your year. So setting those limits, acknowledging those people, but putting a cap on it and really putting a stop and ending, per se, death to how much you're willing to take in of other people's feelings and thoughts in life. Quiet your mind. Overthinking a problem is not the key to any door. Take a few breaths to still your inner chatter. Let yourself be for a while. And I totally get that. Pile 3, you're good. You're great. Don't be too hard on yourself. Allow yourself the space to quiet that mind that can be maybe overactive, and allow yourself to really see what is the takeaway in anything that's coming up through the year. That could even be like a little mantra, or whatever, if you want to create a new mantra for yourself based on something like that. What's my takeaway here? What is the thing that I need to know about the situation in order to pivot or in order to move forward? And the best way to do that is to quiet your mind and allow yourself the proper space to process something. Don't just rush to the next thing. Really, with my pile 3s, strong message I want to give you is just go with the flow, but also allow yourself to just take a moment to process the things so that when you're pivoting with intention. Honor your sensitivities. Your sensitivities are a gift. Be proud of who you are. Put your hand over your heart, inwardly say, I embrace my loving heart. So you're a loving person. You're going to find love. You're going to fall in love with something in your life. Whatever it is, it's important to remember to use the tool of connecting with yourself. Even though it says honor your sensitivities, I think there's a need for pile 3s to just use the tool of connecting with yourself, quieting your mind, listening to your heart, honoring yourself inwardly is really, really important. I feel like my pile 3s are just very external. More like what I mean by that is you might lean more towards the extrovert side. So understanding that you too have feelings, you too have sensitivities, you too have things you're taking in as you're doing, to honor your way with that, honor what you feel, and give yourself the space to be with that, feel it. Limit what you need to limit, but be in touch with yourself. And I think these tools, like especially I think towards the late spring, early summer, quieting your mind will be even better for you to process through some of the transformation that is happening in the first half of the year. With that, I'm sending my pile 3s so much love, so much, grace for this year. And I hope that if you feel you want to come back to this reading later in the year and see what tools were presented here to help you. It's so easy to forget as we get through a year what we may have watched a reading in January of 2022. What did it say? What happened? Am I on that track? We all have free wills. So your year will shift as you have awareness of things and you want to pivot and shift. Maybe you're leaning into these tools and your outcomes are slightly different. These readings are great to be used as just confirmation in your life as to, is this really happening? It's often, that's what I like to tell people, is like you're watching the reading and you're like, go through your life and it comes back up later and you're like, oh, I think I saw that in that video, or I thought that this was going to happen. And it's good to come back and check in and say, oh, it really was happening, or really is happening. And this is the best tool I can use during this time to empower myself. Empaths take in a lot, and it's important for us to have tools that we can ground into in order to get us through. Being an empath, I think, can be a true blessing when we understand how to use it in our life. So with that, I want to just wish a wonderful 2022 to our pile 3s. May grace be with you, and I will see you soon.